This assessment is the Woodcock-Johnson III Oral Comprehension Assessment. And for this one, you would need your laptop, the assessment manual, which is an orange folder, as well as, it's good to have your training manual here and the student response sheet. I know a lot of different things to shuffle, but for this one, the student doesn't need to see the computer, they just need to hear it. If you are in a testing room where there are multiple assessments going on at one time, inside of your computer laptop bag, you will have 2 sets of headphones and a splitter. So you would simply need to put the splitter in and then connect your headphones to that so that you have a set of headphones and the student has a set of headphones. When you go at the assessment on here is an audio file, so when you open it up, it's going to immediately start playing. So you want to go ahead and stop it as quickly as possible and using the touchpad here, put the cursor on the play button, and then you can manipulate the media player by just pressing the buttons. So it makes it a lot more simple than trying to manipulate it with the trackpad here and trying to make sure you hit the buttons just right, when you can just use the left and right button on the trackpad to start and stop it. So I'm all set up and ready. So for this one, you would go ahead and start. Now your auto recording automatically starts with samples C and D. So for younger kids, if they miss C and or D, then you want to work backwards and orally give sample item A. And everything you need to know is inside of your training manual as well as inside of this testing manual. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So now for this one, you're going to listen to a recording. I want you to listen carefully, and after the 2 beeps, I want you to finish what the person says. All right, so let's give it a try.
Test 15, Oral Comprehension. Candy tastes
Sweet.
Good. Now for this, on your response form, you don't have a space to put your sample answers, but you can just go ahead and write them in. So I'm going to write A, B, C, and D, and then I'm going to write sweet for C because that's what the student said. And that's a correct response. So I would respond to her and say, okay, that's great. Now let's try another one.
a bird flies, a fish.
Swims.
Again, that's an incorrect response, so we're going to continue and move forward. I don't have to administer items A and B. So again, you want to write down exactly what the student says because your response form just simply has numbers and lines on there. So you have to write down exactly what the student says. Now, if the student responds with a response that, for instance, is not exactly correct or incorrect, there is, you have a sheet that tells you that, oh, if they give you this response, then you need to query. That means you need to ask them something in addition to that. So everything you need is right here laid out. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I have everything turned to the right page. Here we go. You ready?
Water looks blue and grass looks.
Green.
A dog barks, a cat.
Meow.
There is no milk in the refrigerator. We need to go and get some at the
Store.
We take a bath in a
Tub. Bathtub.
cereal is for breakfast. A sandwich is for
continue doing this until the student, for oral comprehension, your basal is the 6 lowest numbered items correct. And since we started at item number 1, there essentially won't be a basal for that because you're starting at item number 1. And then for the ceiling, the 6 highest numbered items that they answer incorrectly. So once they answer 6 items in a row incorrect, then that's where you would stop this assessment. As you can see, this one's kind of slow paced. You have to kind of go with the speed of the computer. And basically the hardest part is just knowing after the 2 beeps to stop it, and then make sure you write down exactly what the student responds with. And then after that, what we do on our response sheet is if the answer that they give you is correct, and you know if it's correct because you're looking inside the testing manual and in your training manual, if the response they give you is correct, you're circling the item number. If they give you an incorrect response, you write what they say, and then if it's incorrect, you just put a slash through the item number. That way you know the ones that are correct and the ones that are not correct. So you add up all the correct ones and write your total just down in the lower right hand corner of the response form. And once you get 6 in a row incorrect, then you can stop administering this assessment. And that is the Woodcock-Johnson Oral Comprehension Assessment.